This is Plant-Based Briefing, vegan nonfiction review of the book Vegan Interior Design by Sandra Nomoto at sandranomoto.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. This is the Plant-Based Podcast where I curate and narrate with permission a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. Think of it as your daily dose of inspiration to stay the course with this healthy, compassionate, and sustainable lifestyle. And now for today's episode, it's written by Sandra Nomoto. She's a book whisperer for authors with impact and a hype woman for vegan leaders. A former public relations agency CEO, she's the author of 2 books, including Vegan Marketing Success Stories, the world's first vegan marketing book. She's spoken at TELUS, Main Street Vegan Academy, Planted Expo, and the Vancouver Vegan Festival, sharing the stage with Genesis Butler, Chuck Carroll, and Dr. Michael Greger. On the side of her desk, she co-hosts VEG Networking Canada, Canada's only vegan networking group. And check out her website and her blog. She's got lots of tips for vegan businesses, vegan marketing success stories, and a lot of vegan book reviews, like the one that we'll hear today. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Vegan nonfiction review of the book Vegan Interior Design by Sandra Nomoto at sandranomoto.com. Be prepared to learn how much we use animal products in our spaces. I'm no interior designer, but I have this feeling that I decorated rooms in a past life because I'm just fascinated about the aesthetics of places. I appreciate architecture, enjoy modern art, and used to be a huge fan of TLC's Trading Spaces back in the day. I'm glad Vegan Interior Design's Aline Durr reached out and offered a review copy of the book she self-published in 2020, Vegan Interior Design, because I think this is one area most new vegans might overlook. Yes, you've eliminated animals from your diet. Yes, you've committed to purchasing vegan clothing. But what about home decor? Durr says in her introduction, a healthy interior environment does not include animal products. I love that the book not only covers the different animal-based materials and how they're used, but also says that it may not be possible to have a fully vegan space, at least not right away. She provides beautiful imagery as examples, and also solutions the average person won't know. Here are the nuggets I found fascinating, or in some cases heart-wrenching, about this pioneering book. Alternatives to leather, wool, silk, etc. exist. The markets just need to catch up so they become the norm. Furniture and its placement, lighting, acoustics, and air quality all affect our health. Fur, wool, leather, and down are not healthy products. Chemicals are required to prevent them from rot, and we can get allergies, asthma, hormone imbalance, cancer, and feather duvet lung from these materials. I told my husband I was afraid of all the feathers that floated around every time we changed our duvet cover, and maybe I intuitively knew why. Farming sheep is not sustainable. While faux leather or fur isn't great for the environment if it contains plastic, it still uses less land, food, and water than animal materials because there's no tanning or bleaching involved. Leather is not a byproduct. We kill 1 billion animals each year for leather and hides. Durr shared 3 myths about leather. I didn't know leather also comes from dogs, cats, seals, goats, deer, ostrich, lamb, buffalo, and kangaroo. Good God. These animals are usually still conscious when their skins are ripped off. The chemicals and waste used in this industry go into our rivers and lakes, causing us respiratory problems, asthma, rashes, infections, infertility, tuberculosis, and birth defects. Love that leather smell? This might actually damage your respiratory system. No thanks. Durr shared 3 myths about wool. This includes goats, which are treated similar to sheep for their cashmere. She shared 2 myths about down and feathers. Conscious birds are suspended upside down every 6 to 8 weeks while they're plucked and killed at 2 years old instead of the 20 years they would live in the wild. Down is more susceptible to mites and bacteria, and Durr talks about alternatives to these materials. Durr shared 3 myths about fur. Fur comes from foxes, raccoons, minks, rabbits, chinchillas, lynxes, and hamsters. They're killed by poison, electrocution, breaking their necks or severing their heads, or they're skinned alive. Chemicals and waste are leaked into our water supply. Durr shared 3 myths about silk. 6,600 silkworms are required to make 1 kilogram of silk. The child labor and injury in this industry is rampant, and silk has the worst environmental impact of any material. Who knew? Current silk alternatives come from bananas, citrus, cactus, and lotus flowers. Durr covers the Global Organic Textile Standard, or GOTS, versus Oecotec materials and which to look for. Paint isn't vegan by default. It can contain casein and beeswax and be tested on animals, so look out for this when shopping for paint. Dur talks about what to be aware of in bedroom furniture and how nurseries can be safer. Sofas, rugs, and towels might contain down, wool, and beeswax. Fine bone china contains up to 45% bone ash. And Dur also talks about consideration for offices, hotels, and restaurants. And she shares courses she offers where others can learn more about vegan interior design. Whether you're an interior design pro or looking to spruce up your home or workspace in an animal-free way, definitely pick up this book. You just listened to Vegan Nonfiction Review, Vegan Interior Design by Sandra Nomoto at sandranomoto.com, and I'm your host, Marian Erickson. I've done a number of other episodes about some of these products. You can search wherever you listen for leather, for down, for wool, for example, and those will come up. And I was surprised by several things I learned in this article today. Towels are not necessarily vegan. What? Oh my goodness, now that's something else I have to look for. And paint isn't vegan by default. What? And I knew leather came from seals, goats, ostrich, lamb, but I don't think I knew about cats and dogs. Anyway, lots of good information. If you want more details, check out the book and the website veganinteriordesign.com. And I also thought it was interesting that furniture and its placement and lighting and acoustics can affect our health, so I find that pretty fascinating too. And I will link one other related episode, also written by Sandra Nomoto, How to Fully Veganize Your Business. That's episode number 67. And feel free to check out other vegan book reviews at sandranomoto.com. And please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.